Alright folks, today we're diving into a saga that's part tragedy, part drama, and 100% internet tomfoolery. The rise and complete tragic downfall of Idubbbz. Yeah, Ian Carter. The guy who basically defined YouTube commentary for half a decade. The king of content cop. The dude who roasted basically everyone. And when all the fame settled and the dust cleared, he just kinda fell apart. We're talking failed boxing events that lost millions, a bizarre personality shift that confused every Idubbbz fan on planet Earth, and the most jaw-dropping part of all, how he turned against his best friend and longtime collaborator, Klein from H3. Yep, that friendship imploded so hard it's like watching your favorite sitcom duo stop cracking jokes and start daily backstabbing each other instead. Guys, welcome to the Sunny Show, and grab your snacks cause today we're going deep into the lore of Idubbbz. Let's start at the beginning. Before the fall, there must be a rise. About a decade ago, Ian Carter was YouTube royalty. The guy can make an entire video roasting a problematic YouTuber, dropping prevalent critiques, and somehow still making the whole thing hilarious and oddly wholesome. The Content Cop series? Legendary. The Roast of Rice Gum? Iconic. Tana Mojo? Destroyed. The thing that I liked about Idubbbz is that he often shone a spotlight on creators that were trying to game the system. Were they sometimes youngsters who wouldn't know any better that came into fame way too young? Sure, but sometimes you gotta slap the youth with some tough love, especially when they're constantly abusing the system for their own personal gain. I cite TanaCon. And then there was Klein. If Idubbbz was Batman, Ethan was also Batman. The weird vape-smoking sidekick who somehow made the chaos feel real and human. Their friendship was one of the few things that felt genuine on the commentary YouTube scene. They'd podcast together, joke around, call out bad creators side by side. It was like watching the internet's oddest bromance, and fans just loved it. It felt like they were the good guys, the guys who actually cared, who wouldn't abuse their fan base for financial gain. But then something started to change. Ian's content became less roast the clout chaser and more reflect on my own mistakes and apologize for past jokes. And don't get me wrong, growth is great. But when you're the king of roasting, suddenly turning into Mr. Sensitive apology machine, it made fans get a little bit confused. This was around the time Ian started to date Anissa, an OnlyFans model. Obviously, when you make a career out of roasting other people's decisions on the internet and then start dating an OnlyFans model, you're bound to get some ball busting. He would often tell his fans, yeah, it's cool, I'm totally okay with it. But the internet? Well, the internet basically said, wait, the same guy who roasted every low-life simp on the planet is now the biggest simp? It was awkward, it was weird, it was a huge tonal shift for his fan base. Needless to say, this new and improved Idubbbz was not sitting well with his fans, and it seemed like his time in the spotlight was coming to an end. But here's where things get really messy. Creator Clash, Ian's big comeback plan. Creator Clash 1 in 2022 was surprisingly decent. I remember actually tuning into the thing live. It was chaotic, a bit rough around the edges, but fans love seeing creators get in the ring. And the best part? People actually signed up to get punched in the head for the good of raising money for charity. Ian himself even participated. He was raw, but entertaining. Not a pro boxer by any means, but who cares? It was a fun, semi-successful boxing event. But Creator Clash 2 in 2023? Oh boy. This event was a financial disaster of epic proportions. Reports say it lost over $1 million. Yeah, that's 7 figures, folks. And it wasn't just a little flop, it was a full-on money pit. Keep in mind, these events were supposed to be charity, i.e. influencers coming in risking CT scans for the good of raising money. This was looking like an overwhelming disaster that Ian had found himself in. Why? Several reasons. First, poor ticket sales and viewership numbers that barely moved the needle. Many of the fighters dropped out last minute, some citing organizational chaos and Ian's own mounting controversies. The financial fallout? Not just embarrassing, but career-threatening. Sponsors and investors distanced themselves. Ian tried spinning it as all growth and learning, but the internet just wasn't buying it. Ian's attempt to stay relevant was basically him getting punched right in the face and wallet at the same time. And alright, you'd think after losing millions of dollars over Creator Clash 2, Ian would either hang up the gloves or take a serious step back to rethink things. But nope. Enter Creator Clash 3, or as I like to call it, The Titanic sequel nobody asked for. Right off the bat, the marketing was just awkward. The lineup of fighters, honestly, it felt like an underwhelming TwitchCon after party. No disrespect to any other creators. I mean, I'm hardly one to talk with a fresh new platform for me to vent my inner frustrations on. But this lineup has zero major names, barely any crossover stars, and almost zero hype. It's like they filled the card with whoever still answered Ian's emails after the last Creator Clash scandal. Ticket sales have been sluggish and there's no real buzz, no viral moments, no controversy driving interest. Creator Clash 3 is just sort of happening, like a dentist appointment you don't look forward to. Now let's talk numbers. Sources close to the event have said that sponsorship deals are down significantly. Creator Clash started as the anti-corporate fun for the people event. To make matters worse, Ian's image is so damaged that he can't even promote the event without getting ratioed. It's brutal. There's a growing theory that Creator Clash 3 is being kept alive just to break even, or at the very least salvage its reputation, because this isn't just a fun charity event anymore. This is an event for damage control and minimizing financial loss. An attempt to prove that the vision still works, that the backlash didn't win. But here's the thing, if your event depends on convincing people you're not flopping, you're probably flopping. Not to mention, it seems like the influencer boxing scene is already dying out as it is, and no sign that Ian has taken real accountability or evolved the format, even leading him to drop out as the dedicated organizer and face of the event. If Creator Clash 2 was a financial loss, Creator Clash 3 could be a reputational death blow to his career, even if he's no longer associated with it. But now we get to the big one, the friendship fallout that shocked everyone. Remember how I said at the beginning of the video how Ethan from H3 and Ian used to be tight? Like doing collabs, shoutouts, defending each other during YouTube chaos? Fans thought these guys had each other's backs. But then it came, the Idubbbz video no one in 2017 would ever guess would come to fruition. A new content cop video on Ethan Klein. So suspiciously timed that fans couldn't tell if they were watching a genuine call-out or commercial for Creator Clash 3 in disguise. Ian hadn't made a real content cop in years. The series was practically dead. He even publicly disavowed it at one point, said it was too mean-spirited and that he didn't want to be known as the angry YouTube guy anymore. So imagine the collective whiplash when Ian suddenly drops a full-on content cop, aimed directly at Ethan Klein, his former close friend and biggest collaborator. It wasn't just a light roast. He went in on Ethan, accusing him of being a bad friend, of turning his back during Ian's transformation, and of being a fake progressive who makes lazy content and hides behind left-wing branding. And to top it off, Ian gathered all of Ethan's biggest influencer enemies, people that have attacked him relentlessly on social media for years, and got them all together in the intro of the video. How, you might ask? By Fortnite L dancing. I can't express to you the full-body cringe feeling I got from watching this intro. And don't get me wrong, some of Ian's criticisms were technically fair. Ethan's shift from edgy commentary to political podcasting has turned off a lot of his original fan base. His content has definitely changed, but as far as I'm concerned, he's still the Ethan Klein we know and love. But the real problem here with Ian's video isn't what he said, it's why he said it. Because the timing was suspicious as hell. The Ethan content cop came out literally weeks before Creator Clash was set to launch, at a time when there was zero hype around the event. Ticket sales were sluggish, sponsors were vanishing, so what better way to drum up attention than by reviving your most iconic series and throwing your biggest former ally under the bus? You know what will get people talking about Creator Clash again? Drama, nostalgia, and burning bridges. It's just classic PR tactics at this point. Take a shot at someone bigger than you, stir up controversy, drive traffic, but this wasn't Rice Gum or Leafy or even Keemstar. This was Ethan Klein, someone Ian used to call a close friend, someone who publicly defended him and platformed him when he made his transition out of the edgy YouTuber critique era. And fans saw right through it. The top comments weren't praising Ian for returning to form, they were calling it desperate. Many felt like Ian was using Ethan as a scapegoat for his own career meltdown. The guy who once said content cop was too cruel, suddenly weaponizing again. Not to expose a scammer or danger to the platform, but to settle personal beef with a former friend who hadn't even been publicly attacking him. It felt petty, and it felt hollow. It felt like a PR move. And to make it worse, right after the content cop dropped, Ian conveniently pivoted right back into promoting Creator Clash 3, announcements, fighter lineups. It was like the content cop was just the trailer to a much worse movie.
Please, for the love of God, support this event. If the previous content cop was entertaining to you, or this video is entertaining, or you like the message, the best thing that you can do for me is to support Creator Clash.
So what was supposed to be a powerful return to form, Idubbbz reclaiming his throne, ended up looking like a desperate ad read wrapped in nostalgia. And let's be real, when you're reviving your most savage series to go after your former friend right before the financially bleeding event that's about to come, that's not a comeback. That's PR in a content cop costume. So where does this leave Ian? His fan base is split. Some still defend him, saying he's growing, evolving, and trying to be better. When you combine a massive financial flop, bizarre personality shifts, and a public friendship meltdown, it's just not a great look. It's a textbook example of how YouTube fame can be a house of cards. One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. Honestly, if Idubbbz made a content cop on himself, it would probably be his best one yet. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below who you want me to cover next. Until next time.